Hello and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos, a D&D podcast set in the world of Fierlor. I don't believe there are any plugs out of the ordinary. Simply the Patreon and the Redbubble if you want to help support the show, either by getting some cool merch, or um, by getting access to episodes early and some of my homebrew that I've done for the show. And as time goes on, even stuff outside of the show, just for the wider world. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into another episode of Wyverns and Weirdos. So, where we last left off, the party had a few different conversations in the evening following the fight, before all separately going to sleep in different places. Rook and Anya shared the girls' room. Neumann and Ross slept in the corridor underneath the attic where Bertie slept, and Caius slept in a separate room. All this meant that the boys' room was left unoccupied. In the morning, Anya went to Caius to get him to speak to Bertie before the training that she had lined up for the whole group to participate in. The moment we left Bertie and Caius on during their conversation was when Bertie revealed his change of season from a spring Eladrin into a winter Eladrin to Caius. That's where we find ourselves now.
Cool.
So Caius is just kind of staring. So you can change how you look?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you've seen me use the spell before, but this is how I look normally, I guess. Yeah, Eladrin can change seasons sometimes. Usually because of things, but yeah. It just happened, and so yeah.
So this is you now? For a bit, or?
Yeah, we'll see how long for, I guess.
I like it.
Cool, good.
Haha, cool, because it's this is very new to me, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I just wanted to pretend looking the same, but I guess since, yeah, I think there was no point hiding. So, yeah, I'm very cold now, though. That kind of sucks. But yeah.
Why were you hiding?
Well. He kind of like, draws his knees up to his chest again, I guess, and then kind of like tucks like the bandaged arm like under there while he like wraps the other arm around his knees. He's like, I don't know. Well, I used to change a lot when I was younger, and then changing is usually comes with moods, and I've gotten pretty good at just staying in spring all the time, because that's what's easier for people. And then what happened yesterday, I couldn't stop it, so it's finally happened. I've been kind of getting icy a lot lately, and it just happened, so, but it's part of, I gotta think more about how I feel about things, so... Luckily for me, that's a physical thing that sometimes I can't even hide. Isn't that great?
When you say that it's easier for you to, or easier for people to be in spring, is that it's easier for Eladrin to all be in spring, or it's easier for other people if you are in spring?
Second one, more cheerful then. Well, I look more cheerful, so...
Oh.
You know... You have to kind of look like you're doing okay when you're not, you know? I'm sure you know that. But that's not good.
No, and you and Neumann both told me that that wasn't a good way to do things. And I think that you shouldn't worry about what other people think of you. You should look the way that you want to look and feel the way that you feel. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise.
That is very solid advice, guys. I'm gonna.
He looks very proud of himself.
That's very clever. I'm gonna be working on it. And yeah, it's. Thank you. I'm glad. I was worried, I guess. But I'm glad. We'll see how it goes. Gonna try and be a bit more thoughtful about myself, I guess. And yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to you more about it if I need to, I guess.
Right.
I guess the main point of thing, I think the happy yesterday wasn't great. You don't want to talk more about that, I'm guessing?
Well, I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like I probably should. Caius points at the bandaged arm. I know when I get into a zone, the military academy always taught me to, in a fight, go for someone's arms, that they're holding weapons, and I'm assuming that was me, and I point at your arm.
But he turns a lot more inward into himself and makes himself look a bit smaller subconsciously. Like, yeah, that was me. That was you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it'll be alright.
Okay.
I still trust you, so if you're worried about that, that's not an issue. And yeah. Well, it's proves that you were a pretty good learner, I guess, at the school. That you default to that, and you do definitely get in the zone when we fight stuff like that.
Yes, they had to teach me a few times. I kept going for legs.
Well, probably for the best. My legs are my best feature, I would say. So, like, I guess the arms not as bad. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Academy stuff. I guess while we're here, I suppose, well, first off, gonna be very honest, that was terrifying, what happened yesterday. I know it wasn't your fault though, so that's okay. Just, yeah, being honest, but that's alright. Yeah, it's all good. It's probably not a great thing to happen to you for considering everything that's happened lately, and with your pa, and with Ravenna, and with Ross, and with like just you yourself, the assassin thing that happened. Yeah, just shit stuff. So I'm gonna try and keep more of an eye out for you, in that regard.
Thank you. And I think what you mentioned about before, you trying to look at yourself a bit more. I think I need to do that as well. So, not you, me. I look at myself more. Not that I don't think the whole winter frost thing is, weird, because I point at my belt and then I point at the other sword that I've got, and yeah, I point at actually the current sword that I have as well, which has some frost tendencies to it. Ice is sort of my thing.
I guess we kind of match now.
Yes. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, I think that we can both get through the coming days and weeks and however long it takes to find ourselves. We can work on that together, and I think that way, with two people doing it, it should take half the time.
I think that would be great. Yeah. As you say, like, I'm in a very, very difficult crossroads where I don't really know who I am anymore compared to who I was. And so I think it would be good if we were both working together to figure that out. I think probably the person I want to be was when we were doing that flying thing, and you nearly died in that lake, but like in like a fun way, not like an actual dying way, like an assassin way, like, yeah. And we fished you out, we like laughed for ages. That was like, that's the person I want to be. Like, not person that's like hurting you, but like actually laughing. I'd like that more. So I think that'd be good. And yeah, well, I have a suggestion, Caius.
Yes?
Well, I want to kind of be a teacher again, but in a different way. I still want, if you still want to, I'd like you to help teach me fighting when you wanna, and magic, because you're better at both than me, I'll be honest. And I trust you. But I was thinking, if we could get a few moments to ourselves, and I guess we'll probably have to go back to dorm at some point. I hope you're okay with that. Well, I want to teach you some things that like have nothing to do with swords or magic or war or whatever, and maybe we can find some new things that are fun for you and for me, and like only useful in a little way. And I can think about what life will be after, and maybe if you can too, then that might help a little bit just sometimes. And okay, for example, do you know how to cook much at all?
I have cooked things in the past.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Okay. Well, did you enjoy it just because you didn't like the process of it, or like you didn't like what came out of it, or was just like you set off a couple of fantasy smoke alarms?
Well, I don't know what a smoke alarm is, but I did burn down a kitchen.
Okay, not ideal, but again, we have a lot of ice, so probably pretty good. Did Ravenna cook much?
Yeah, She has cooked in the past.
Same kind of level.
Yes. No, it was a joint effort, the kitchen.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Cool. Well, I'll add that to my mental picture of her. Well, okay. Well, that's cool. Maybe you might enjoy it more, because, my caretaker dads are very good at making, pies, and so am I. And I think you'll be good at it, too, if I teach you. And even if you aren't, it doesn't matter, because it's not a life or death thing or anything to do with all that. It's just something you can make out of not much. I think you'd be pretty good at it, because, with your hands and stuff, No pressure. Do you think that might help?
I would very much enjoy that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. And, I know lots of other stupid kind of things I can teach you if you want. And I can meditate, and I can draw a little bit, and I can sew, and I can play the flute okay, and, we can go flying if you like, if you need to get away from stuff, and, no books, no swords, no magic. It can be like your commoner training, like your me training, or you relearning some stuff on, I don't know, if you want to break from being Caius the Warrior, or Caius the Inheritor, or more just, whoever you want regular Caius to be. Maybe we can find out who he is. Same for me. What do you say, we got a deal?
At that, with Bertie lifting off, Caius the Warrior and all the titles, Caius did sort of shrink down a little bit.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Bertie said, find out who regular Caius is, he doesn't tear up, but he gets very emotional.
Oh.
And he goes, you know what, Bertie, I would very much like that.
Good. Hey, okay, is it okay if I hug you?
Yes.
Okay, I might need your cloak, because I'm a bit cold, unfortunately, now.
Yes, of course. No, I can probably find. I take off the cloak of billowing.
Excellent. So Freddie gets the cloak of billowing, kind of awkwardly swaddles guys, and then pulls him into a little hug, and he's like, "Cool. I don't know if this feels good for you. It's kind of okay for me. I actually like hugging a lot. I'm just not very good at it anymore. But yeah, like we said back in dorm, ages ago, really, it was only 4 days. Me caring for myself and you caring for yourself is hard, but at least for me caring for you is easy. And easy isn't always good. It can hurt a lot sometimes in the heart and the head, but it's easy. And I think if there's a lot of love or caring for someone in your heart, then maybe giving yourself some love is good too. And if you practice a bit, like with, your fighting, your sword training, it might get a bit easier. I learned a lot of magic and even fighting real fast through practice, and I'm trying to learn to beat myself up in the head less, and the more I try, the better I'll get at it. For me, I'm not always sure, because I always feel worried about what people think of me and how much they really like me, and that you said once you'll worry for me when I said I couldn't do it for myself, and that makes it easier for me, because in the long run, we care about each other, and that's a good thing, because we can share this burden together. He just awkwardly hugs guys.
Yeah, I like that whole time we're just in a hug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
So you spend a bit more time talking in a probably less heavy manner now that you've, not to say it's all bluff, but now that you've kind of gotten that out of the way, or much of that out of the way, you speak for a little while longer, waiting for the others to arrive, and come 6 o'clock, the other 4 party members arrive at the orchard.
I guess on the way down, Ross is going to... Okay. If Ross sees Birdie on the way down, because I think if I remember the fight map correctly, like depending on what part of the lake they're at, we can see them from the orchard.
So the lake is part of the orchard. The lake is quite close to the actual tavern itself. So yeah.
Okay. Ross would probably see, like, I don't know, maybe like, she probably isn't going to see that Birdie's like different colors at the moment. She's just going to see Caius talking to a little figure in a little cape and just be like, oh, that's where Birdie is. I thought he was still in the attic. Okay, cool. And I'm assuming she and Neumann are plodding along together after sleeping in a corridor all night. I do not believe she would have taken a level of exhaustion, but she's very tired.
No.
Yeah, Neumann is also like dreading being up, but again, I feel like they got enough sleep. I think.
Yeah. Barely.
Yeah, because strictly speaking, you only need about 6 hours of sleep plus 2 hours of light activity to qualify for a short rest. For a long rest.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Rook would have woken up like not long after Anya left and then tried to get some form of bath and then probably tried to like desperately look for some form of clothing, maybe ended up like borrowing a cloak of Anya's or something.
Anya would have left her the robe of many things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She will be wearing that.
And just any other like spare clothes she would have that would fit Rook. Which
I was trying desperately to think of like who can Rook possibly borrow clothing from.
or just Caius.
Only Caius.
This has so many changes of clothes.
Let's hit that up later.
So Anya, she arrives last, which possibly is frustrating, but she kind of wanders down and she looks a little, as she's walking, like a bit tense, nervous almost, but then when she sees that you're all there, she straightens up a little bit and takes a deep sort of breath, and when she sees Birdie, she looks a little bit surprised, but then just gives him like a nod and a small smile, and she looks at the students and side, and then she addresses you guys, I guess. Thank you all for coming. I know it's a lot earlier than a lot of you are usually up. I wanted to... A lot happened yesterday. A lot has happened this week, really, but I think it's important that I talk to you, and I would really like if you would all listen. We will get to training, I do promise you that. If you all will still want that, but I do want to talk to you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Sounds good to me. And Rook will go and like stand beside Anya, supportingly.
Ross will stop stretching which is what she was doing the whole time, and she's going to sit down on the ground like crisscross applesauce and just look.
Caius will stop stretching because that's what he was doing the whole time, and he will sit down cross-legged.
I just want to ask for posterity's sake, do we all see Bertie? Ross isn't going to react, but
Yeah.
do we see him?
So, being that there is no illusion up, you all note Bertie's drastic visual change.
Yeah.
Does still have the cloak on as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Um,
So he looks just a little bit blue. That's all. Yeah. I got the cloakability on. Yes. So it was just quite small. I imagine probably before, like when one run grabbed to the orchard. I imagine also Bertie would have like helped Caius do the buckles that he had like loose on his armor before if Caius let him. Because he's helped him out of his armor enough times. And he would kind of like just he would like shrunk down a lot more as we like went to the orchard. Like, oh, is it cool if I just hang near you for this? I think, as you said, it probably would not. I shouldn't worry about what I look like, but I don't know what the hell Anya has planned. So you can do your stretches or whatever. But like, if it's okay, I might just stand near you. That's all right.
That's perfectly fine.
Cool. Perfect. So yeah, that's what he's so guys doing his big stretches. He's just standing there like.
So I guess for posterity's sake, Ross did give Bertie just a little nod and a thumbs up before she started stretching, and now she's sitting down.
Valid. Yep. Cool
Do you
stuff.
even do anything before Anya starts?
He's still eating the pie.
No, he just
Just
sort of
tummy ache.
plops on the ground in exhaustion.
Fair.
Once you all look settled, Anya, she nods. She just sort of takes another deep breath and she's like, I have an apology to make to all of you. I have let you all down, and not necessarily for the reasons that I previously thought. I talk a big game about seeing a lot of things, and I do. I see a lot of what happens, I see a lot of what goes on. I am a scout. It is my job, it's what I'm good at. Even without my eyes, I found ways to be the best at it of anyone I have met. And I'm sure of many people any of you have met. But I missed something so important in being around you all and in watching you all. I've been waiting for this moment to happen at some point of just everything falling into where it usually does. So I have traveled with a lot of different parties, and I have seen and experienced a lot of different things, but I forgot, and I didn't realize that none of you are really made for this. I know that might sound silly and that some of you will have objections, but I have been doing this for over 300 years. I have been through many different things. And I've been around many different kinds of people, and you're all a little different from what I'm used to. I am surrounded instead of by people who know that what they are walking into, know how to fall into place with the other members of their party. I am surrounded by people that are so different from one another. And it's never been on me in the parties to be the person to help that fall into place. But I am the one here who has the most experience, who has done this the most, and I have let you down by not being here in the way that you need. And I'm sorry. I don't think a lot of you are going to like the things I have to say next. But please try to understand and bear with me. None of you are what you really think you are. I see a lot of everything that goes on, but none of you are what you have spoken to me of, or what you have spoken to others of. You all are floating, little floating petals in a pool that is heading towards a waterfall. And I'm worried that maybe I'm the pool and I am tugging you in this direction. But none of you really quite know what direction that is. I have not prepared any of you for this. And I have made the mistake of assuming that you are all prepared yourselves. I forget, after being around this long, I forget that other people aren't around this long, that they haven't had the time I've had. Like, I see a woman lost, searching, trying to find the fire that can only burn around others, and she is alone. I see a man a long way from home who never stops moving his hands because he's desperately trying to make something that can save his home. I see a little bird singing a sad song on the shoulder of a friend, scared and looking over for the next arrow, but she refuses to move until the song is finished. I see a boy who has lost his purpose, who has lost what he believes to be important, and is desperately searching to find what will make him the man he thinks he needs to be. And I see a friend who lets his pain become everything about him, lets others become his pain. I sit and I watch and I see these people And I think, no, it is okay. They will be fine. They can find their way. They will understand. They will talk to each other. They will find their fight. But I don't think any of you have. You've tried your hardest, and I am so proud of you for that, but it's not... Fighting this individually, the way we have been, is not going to at all. I want to help train you on. And I know that there will be resistance there. And I know that a lot of the time when I suggest things or say things, or I dismiss myself a lot. And I think that's made it okay for you all to dismiss me too. And I'm sorry for leading you down that path. But I would really... I'd like to talk about everyone's role here and what part we play in this party. Because I don't think that we should be playing the parts that fate thinks we should. I think we should play the parts that we think we should. She sighs and she sits down on the ground and she just kind of looks at her hands and she's like, when Bryn died, I left my post. I was not the reason she died. She died at her post. It was something that, while was not an accident, could not have been prevented. But I lost my focus and I left my post and I went to her. She was gone. And I went to her, and then I saw nothing anymore. I saw her dead, and I saw nothing. But I did hear the screams of the people that I was meant to be protecting. I did hear the casualties. Devils don't often just come to people out of nowhere with packs. There's blood on my hands that will never, ever wash off. And I have made my peace with that. But I do not wish that of a single one of you. And without some sort of change here, the blood on each other's hands might not just be our own. And I care about you all so much that I don't want to ever not be able to help. Working in the role that I thought I had to, and having Bryn work in the role that she thought she had to. And we were meters apart, but fighting separately. and she died. And I know there are people here that have died. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that I have let this happen for so long. But if we cannot fix this, if you will not let me help, then I don't see a way that we will make it out of it. I'm sure you all have things to say. I've said my piece for now.
Yeah, I think those were some excellent points. Very motivating. I think you should listen to Anya's experience, and I would agree that. Do you guys not even have roles? No. Yes. Listen to Anya.
Bias is looking down at the dirt, and he almost looks angry, but he's not saying anything.
I was going to say insight check, but he looks angry, so it's fair.
In a moment of borderline same brain, Ross is also looking at the dirt, but she doesn't look angry. She just looks blank. She also does not say anything.
Okay. I wasn't. Newman's just gonna be like, well, I mean, I guess the role I've always played is I take the hits when our very strong friends aren't here. And he points at Caius and he points at Rook. And apart from that, I'm motivational support and mood lightener, which is the role I'm playing right now. But yeah, look, I'll be honest, we definitely go into most things not knowing what we're doing. But I think that's because, especially with the recent people we've been fighting, the situations we've been put in, I don't think anyone would know what they're doing with extremely powerful wizards that show out of nowhere and fighting literal gods. And yeah, I'm not sure about you guys, but they didn't teach this. They didn't teach this at all to us when we were younger. And I guess it's just something we got to learn on the go. But I will admit that we've been put in a lot of bad situations, and we haven't really been trying anything different to try and fix that. And as a result, we keep on getting into these bad situations. So whilst I think I understood most of that, I guess we should definitely try something different. And we should take that on board. He will then look over to Caius and Ross to see if there is any reaction different to just looking at the ground and like, this isn't like a in your face like, yeah, I'm talking to you. It's just he noticed you guys were like doing that, and he's like, maybe I can spin this into a way where they might or are they just gonna keep on dirt watching?
I will stand.
Uh-oh.
So, first of all, thank you for bringing us all out here and having a chat to us all. I think sharing is very important. That said, there were a couple of things that I don't particularly agree with, if I may be so bold as to air them.
Anya looks up, and her look is very different from what from what she had been when explaining herself, and also than what she has been for a while. And she looks up at Caius, and she just raises her eyebrows, and she just stares at him. I am listening.
So, and he's going to sort of gather his thoughts and almost start to pace, in a way. You mentioned that you're the only one in this group that knows the direction that we're going, and no one else is aware. Well, I mean, I can't speak for everyone here, but I personally, I know the direction I'm going. And that direction is with you all. Wherever that leads us, that's the direction that I'm going. I know that.
Anya's face softens just a little bit from what she was.
I know that from what you said, you're hurting. We're all hurting. This is, I haven't known most of us for a while, but this is the way that we are. For some reason, we're a very sad group of individuals. I hope that in the future we will be better at that. But for now, this is who we are. However, we can all leave whenever we want to. No one is here not of their free will. We're all here because this is where we want to be at the current moment. I nearly left a few days ago. I'd even written a note explaining why I'd gone. But I didn't leave. I thought about it overnight, and I was planning on coming back before, everything happened and everything went sideways, and then someone came and woke me up in the morning with the dagger. But that's fine. That happens. And now I'm still here. Because this is where I want to be. This is where I belong. And I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but no one else has left yet, so I'm assuming it's the same for them as well. You're... Also, what... and he starts to, pace a little bit more. What's the whole point of this conversation? Why are we talking about this? Are you complaining that we don't work well as a team and that we should do training to fix that so that we're a better team? Well, let's do training. We've identified the problem and we've identified the fix. So let's fix it.
Caius.
There's no point talking. Stop. I'm talking. There's no point talking about something like this and wasting so much of our emotional energy on something like this that we know how to fix it. And that is to work as a group and to talk to each other and to be better at group work. And the best way to do that is to be as a group and as a single unit. And you know this because this is how you trained before. I know this. This is how I've trained before. And this is the best way to fix it. So there's no...
Anya stands and pulls herself up off the dust, and she stands at her full height. She's like, are you really going to lecture me about things we do or do not know, and emotional energy that is or is not being expended, when instead of talking, instead of us all together speaking to one another, every single one of us, myself included, has walked away and had our own individual little conversations, not shared with everyone. And you are going to stand here and tell me that me bringing us here and saying that we need to work together is unnecessary? I understand that you were brought up in a military, oh no, we don't talk background.
But this is not how we will fix things.
What I am saying, Anya, is that we identify a problem. One, we don't talk to each other. We've identified the problem. That takes 10 seconds. Then we go and fix it. There's no point sitting here and talking for 10 minutes about how you think you're to blame for everything that happens, everyone's misfortunes. It's all on you, and you could have done better, and everything. I could have done better.
Oh, that's
Everyone could have. I'm gonna slam my sword into its sheath, and I'm gonna activate the yell property.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I'm just gonna yell out Anya. I don't take part in very many conversations because I feel that my opinions aren't valid and my emotions aren't valid. And I've come to realize that sometimes it's important to talk about what you feel is right and about what you feel is wrong. And I know that in the past, I have blamed myself for things that I have done. And I know I still will in the future. But in order to get better in the future, both individually and as a group, we need to learn how to work together as a group and not take all the blame individually. I know that I've blamed myself for things that aren't important to me, that aren't my fault. I know that you've brought that up to me in the past. I also know that you're aware, as I'm sure everyone else is, that I'm not the brightest person here. But even I can see that everything that's happened, surely not all of that is because of you. You don't have that.
Caius, you have learnt of talking, and I am very proud of you. But I need you to listen. Not just hear, but listen. When I am speaking, when Bertie is speaking, when Ross is speaking, when Neumann or Rook is speaking, I would like you to listen to what is being said. Not once did I say that things were my fault. Not in this conversation. I apologized and took accountability for letting you guys down, because that is on me. But this situation is not my fault. You not listening is not my fault. Rook, her family not being here is not my fault. Ross and Newman's home is not my fault. And Bertie, as much as I would like to take on everything that has happened to him and give an easy out, that is not my fault. And I am not having this conversation because I think that we should waste more time talking more about this or that. But just training is a band-aid. I came here with the hope that we could talk about the different ways in which we could fight as a team. And part of that is breaking down the fact that we don't. I honestly don't think you should be our heavy hitter. Not because you're not good at it, I think you're incredible at it. but because I think you and Ross would work incredible together as a distraction, as a part where the two of you, if you work together instead of whatever this is, instead of one of you running and the other of you chasing and vice versa, one of you could run, the enemies could follow, and the other jumps out and... No. I can't blame you for this, actually, because I knew coming here today that people wouldn't like what I have to say, and that's fine. That's not on you. She sits back down, and she's drawing in the dust.
Ross puts her hand up and says, when are the rest of us going to be necessary in this situation? I'm beginning to feel like this is a conversation maybe you two could have had or should have. I'm willing to watch it happen, but I'm sort of starting to feel like this isn't actually about us. I'm starting to feel like this is maybe actually a little bit about like you two right at this particular moment. And if you're gonna bring me into this, if you're gonna bring what I can do in a fight, I would appreciate it if someone asked me what I can actually do in a fight. If you're going to bring Birdie into this, or Neumann or Rook into this, I would appreciate it if maybe you asked us what we maybe also want to do. But if you two want to yell at each other and take the blame for each other while also blaming each other, while also, you know, going in these endless little circles about how it's not your fault, it is your fault, and we need to train, but we're not going to train. I can go stand over there. I've got shit I can be doing right now.
Anya, she looks up at her, and it's the coldest you've seen Anya look at Ross, and she's like, are you really going to try that one now, are you?
If you want me to be a soldier, sign me up to be a soldier. And if you want me to be Bryn, tell me what she looks like and I'll use disguise person. And she walks away.
You know what? Fuck this, actually. She stands up and she follows Ross, and she turns her around. She's like, you have no idea your effect on other people. None. You are so clueless to what is going on around you. And at first I thought it's because you are trying, but no.
Rook goes into a rage.
I'm
This
sorry.
has been building ever since.
And you put yourself in these
Kaya started shouting. Rook goes into a rage. Flames burst out around her. She just yells and she just like charges at you two. Probably maybe makes a light, like manages to get a slight swing in, and then just kind of falls to her knees and is just like, stop this!
Hey, sorry. Ross goes to her knees next to Rook. Hey.
What is this? I swear to God, stop shouting or I'm going to attack each of you.
Okay, we're not yelling, okay? We're done.
Anya's just quiet. She's just standing there and she's just quiet. She's not even facing any of the others anymore. She's just quiet.
As loosens into Nocturne scabbard.
We're done. I'm sorry.
Sorry, okay. I just thought that was a threat.
Hey, do you need help breathing? It's okay.
Okay.
Just breathe. It's okay.
You people, you need to learn to talk. Like, what is this? Gods. I think my mercenary troop would have thrown you all out in an instant. Oh. But then I'm hardly one to talk. That means they threw me out, and I can see why.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Anya.
Okay. You're okay. Anya, she's still not facing anyone, and she just slumps to the ground, and she's like, "It's enough. It's enough." She looks up to the sky a little bit, and she's like, "I tried, okay? I tried to be you, and it wasn't enough. And now I just have to be me, I guess."
Okay.
And she kind of looks over her shoulder a little bit, and she's like, "Ross, if I was trying to make you like Bryn, I would have pushed you to the front."
That was really cruel of me to say. I'm sorry.
I know I don't talk to you guys a lot about what has happened to me. I'm not the greatest at dealing with people. I never was. And when I tried to be, it was so easy for her to it took me a long time to realize I wasn't. Like, I'm sorry. And she just sort of puts her head in her hands, and she's like, I'm sorry.
Ross is gonna let the silence sit there for a second, and then she's gonna look at Rook and be like, "Do you need anything? We can get you some water, or..."
Yeah, that'd be good. Just no louds and sounds is good.
Okay.
We should be able to argue like normal people.
This wasn't normal. This is, and she looks over at the other three, who I'm assuming are just like, holy shit.
Yeah. I guess like Neumann is sort of like shuffled over to Caius just to check on him. He doesn't really know what to do at the moment, so he's just going to slowly sneak around to anyone who's by themselves at the moment.
Caius still has a hand on his blade.
Yeah. Well, now you got a hand on your back as well.
Bertie is standing near Caius. He was very afraid when both Caius was yelling, and then Anya and Caius were yelling, and then Rook yelled as well, and then Ross was yelling, and he like shrunk back a lot. especially when Kaius grabs in not to yell. But he's like, now he just, something that Anya said, a little bit has kind of, he was looking afraid, and then he just kind of, that expression shifted, and he's looking at the ground now, but he is still kind of satellite standing near Kaius, close enough that some snow is blowing on his shoulder. But yeah, it's on Neumann as well, I suppose. But yeah,
as bits of the sun peek out as rising, you do all realize that there is a bit of that there are like dark, almost smoky clouds gathering in the sky slowly. It's not a sudden thing, it's just that now that there is some light peeking through, it's become noticeable.
Don't you dare force proper training on us, Darby.
Emotional training.
Okay, well, is it something like, so Neumann, he sees that, I guess. Is that something to be worried about? Is that normal to him? The smoky clouds, or?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Ooh, 26.
26. I mean, it's not really something you have direct experience in, but it does seem almost ominous.
Okay, so Newman's going to speak up, and he'll be like, guys, I know this is an absolutely terrible time, but I am getting the heebie-jeebies right now, and it's not from this, it's from those clouds. And I don't know if any of you are cloud experts or know much about the weather, but that is just putting me off a little bit. Should we go elsewhere?
shit.
Smoke?
I don't think it's normal. Maybe it's something unique to this area, but I don't think I just have a feeling in my bones, you know?
I don't think it is. We should probably not do this here.
Well, do we want to step out onto the street and see if there are any guards around or locals that would know if that's normal or not?
Perhaps we could maybe, find some guards, maybe a certain guard captain as well. I believe he owes us money anyways, so we could maybe kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, speaking of, and I take out the coin pouch and I throw it to Birdie.
Birdie catches it. Huh?
I don't know, Anya
Thanks?
told me to give it to you. I don't know if it was your share or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I believe...
Birdie puts it in his pocket.
I believe, that's the pouch from Zath.
Oh, my share.
I believe, I believe that was everything in there. So maybe we could just divvy that up at a less.
Yeah, okay, cool. We'll do that later on. Yeah, sure. Either way, that doesn't look good. I am a local here, or I was a long time ago. I don't know if that's new, but I presume Birdie has not seen that before.
No, this is not a regular thing.
So Neumann checks the weather update. How's it looking? What's the forecast?
I mean, yeah, it's still very slowly kind of these gathering clouds.
Either that's a problem that is caused by us being here, or just a problem that's going to happen either way. I think we,
You're cold, Bertie. Anya says quietly from where she is.
I can get Zoot Zoot to check it out, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if it's a end of the world thing or just a general captain thing. He can't get ascertain anything from this, can he, Darby? Get any vibe from it?
Roll me
not gonna be
an
like a Newman's
Arcana
roll.
or Religion check, your choice.
Can I roll a
I'm bad
smoke
at
check? Smoke.
Arcana or Religion, your choice.
It's 9, I have
Okay.
0.
Oh, I'm terrible at them.
It's a 9, so he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. Yeah, it's not anything you have experience with, Rook.
Yep.
What are you trying to say, Jake?
Anya, could you get sorry, isn't it? Can you get Hafren to have a look up there, perhaps? Because I can't do. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come back, but he's dead.
Is everything okay?
Sure.
Okay. Well, he's just going to spawn Zoot Zoot, and he's just going to get him to fly into the clouds. He can't necessarily see through Zoot Zoot, I don't think, but he could probably find out if something's wrong with Zoot Zoot or something like that.
Yeah. You see as Zoot Zoot ascends into the clouds, as it makes contact,
It'll be okay.
there is this flash of red, somewhere between lightning and some other sort of energy that just comes out and just disintegrates the metal form.
So Neumann will do the very cliche, get on his knees and scream, no! As like, he might pick up a couple of pieces that fell to the ground.
Yeah, like the pieces are there that you can rebuild in, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, disclaimer, Zoot Zoot is a magical spawn, so he's not. He will be back.
Oh, good. I'm so relieved.
The viewers
I
will be
miss
very
Zoot Zoot.
Right, so that's not good. That wasn't lightning. That was like red and not good. We should move.
Yeah, either that's not our problem at all, or definitely our problem.
Everything's our problem.
We should probably get everything, with us either way. Okay, well.
I say let's go to the find any guard and see if we can find someone in charge.
That might be a very good idea.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Kais is going to start to walk out into the street.
For fuck's sakes. Can you all just listen to Bertie? He's clearly the most equipped to lead us. He's the only one any of us actually listen to.
Oh, really? You think I'm the leader because people listen to me? Oh my god! Oh, wow! Sorry, no, that's great. No, it's cool.
All right, let's do something about that vaporizing ash in the sky.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Ross will help Rook stand up.
Yeah, Rook will clamber upwards.
Anya
Steady.
pulls herself up onto her feet, and she just looks up at the sky until she notices everyone going, and then she'll follow.
Neumann will probably hang around and wait for Anya.
Ross is just helping Rook and following Bertie. Wherever Rook wants to go. Rook's a lot bigger and stronger even after a panic attack. It's fine.
Rook's just waiting to do it.
After having his little moment, Bertie will then just walk around in the same direction Kai's was going anyway, and he will like tuck him by the, or try to tuck him by like the wrist or something to come with.
Caius will follow.
We locate a guard.
Yeah. And ask whether it's normal. Is that
Well,
the
yes.
purpose? It is not normal.
Yes, and Neumann will say, Red Lightning killed my robot friend. You should probably get ready for something.
It doesn't look like when the rift opened up last time. We only came in the middle of it, he's saying to the guard.
Not to my knowledge.
Make them as good as the chefs make them, but oh boy.
Alright, we got any like mages or anything that can have a spell at that?
I'm sure there are some working on it, but it could be a while before they know with certainty.
Is this an evacuating kind of situation?
Unfortunately, we don't know until the mages and the priests know.
He seems awfully calm.
Yeah, it does. Like red lightning thunder. Does the red lightning derby look like tendrils? That's
It's
something
hard.
Buddy would be
It's hard
adept
to
in.
tell from the distance you're at.
Interesting.
Okay.
Like, I think those of you with an insight above a 16, we get the idea that this guard is very, like, there is a nervousness to him, but like he is trained in like trying to keep people calm and trying his best to not betray any of his own concerns to try to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guard is relatively calm. There's a slight amount of panic, but to those who are particularly insightful. But all things considered, you don't think this is immediately an issue, but it may become an issue within, who knows, the next day, next couple of days. Hard to tell.
Quick question, are the clouds obscure, like, is the sun visible now it's risen in the sky?
There are. So the sun, the sun itself is not visible, but there is light peeking through the clouds.
Fair. That's cool.
But yes, the clouds are partially eclipsing the sun itself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, if anything seems to get worse, I guess.
People will suddenly be made aware if it gets to evacuation levels.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's all I wanted to ask, so... He looks at Kai, so he looks at Neumann. Presumably Neumann, unless Neumann's staying back with Anya, I believe. Looks at Kai, looks at Ross. Whoever's next to him.
Rook being like heavily supported and like looking beat up is like, oh, and if you need any assistance, I'm a trained mercenary here.
Noted. Alright, so what do folks
Oh,
want to
yes,
do?
we are a skilled group of adventurers. Haven't you heard?
Newman's gonna step in and be like, hey.
I'll stop. Sorry.
So, is
It's
there
all
anything
good.
folks want to do?
Not be in this group atmosphere right now. Exit this.
I'd be like, okay, well, I guess, I still think we should be wary and maybe, go if If anyone wants any last minute stuff in DSL's probably a good time to do it either way, I guess. Calm the nerves after the big talk.
Well, Rook, you need clothes, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go then.
All right. She kind of like looks over at Anya to gauge how she's doing.
Anya's almost sort of blank. She's just very quiet and a bit sort of tucked in on herself, but in almost a defiant way. So like, while her shoulders are rolled inwards, she's still very rigid and very, looks like a rabid animal a little bit, I guess, where it's like if there was something that she needed to defend or to attack, she would do it without hesitation. But she just looks over at Rook and she just shrugs and nods, like, and doesn't say anything.
Okay. Hey, I'll see you later. Remember, I believe in you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, you find a clothes shop fairly easily, and there's a few other stalls nearby. One of them a jeweler's that claims have some arcane stock as well as mundane. Another claims to be armory and weaponry, and a few others that it's a bit harder to tell what they actually sell from their names.
Yeah.
Signage.
I mean, first port of call. Okay, did anyone else go with Rook and Ross, or is it just R squared off on a little adventure, awkwardly not talking to each other?
Bertie he will do a quick insight check on Caius first, though.
Okay.
Which is, I do have advantage.
Is Caius insight?
Yeah, because of your
My
feet.
Caius insight. That's it.
Social
It's just my
graces.
Caius insight check. So it's 15 plus 8, so 23.
Yeah. What does Bertie glean for 23?
So Caius has released his grip on his sword, but his knuckles are very white. And he is now almost distractedly watching the storm, like trying to figure out, direction, speed of travel, prepping for a possible, is there more to this?
Bertie tries to tap him on the shoulder. Hey, Caius?
Hi.
I know you're planning, but it doesn't look like it's here soon. Do you want to come in town?
I can come into town if there's something that you need done. I think it might be wise if we go earlier rather than later, because it does seem to be heading our way.
I just want your company, and probably be good if away from Anya for a tick.
Of course, that's fine.
Come with?
Sure, there is something that I want to check on as well, so this will work well.
Cool, awesome. We'll go check out Rook and go help Rook and Ross. Neumann, Anya, I'll be back real soon. Neumann, send ping if you need anything. He taps his earring. And then he looks like, oh, ruffles and rummages around his pocket, and then pulls out a little box and throws it at Neumann.
Ooh, okay. So Neumann sort of tapped his earpiece as well, as in yeah, I know what you're talking about, and then goes to catch this box that's been thrown at him.
Oh, sorry, not a present for you. It's he taps the earring and then points at Anya. Have a chat when, be back soon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's a messenger ring. But yeah.
Oh, right.
It was just what Neumann will see. With like very excitedly opens the box and goes,
And Newman turns to Anya and goes, you want to go get some ale spread on toast, just like old days?
Are you hungry, Neumann?
It's very early in the morning. I haven't eaten yet. Yes, please.
Let's go get food, my friend.
And Darby, if they don't have ale spread on toast, I'm
Oh,
going
they
to be
do.
so
They do.
angry. Oh, thank God, I needed that. Oh.
Okay.
excellent. So Bertie has tagged Kai's along with Ross
Yeah.
and Rook.
Just before we all leave, I'm just going to shout out to Anya. Just be like, hey.
Anya flinches a little bit when you say that, but she does look up at you.
We've just done a lot of yelling. We've aired our grievances. I don't think the conversation's over, but that's for another time. We're both needed, so we'll both keep our heads up and in the game, and then we'll continue it once we get out of whatever the hell this is.
I'm sorry, would it not be better for us to just get on with it? I don't see why we need to have this conversation. And she turns and walks towards the inn.
Hey, Kai, let's go in town. Let's go in town. We'll talk about this later. Hey.
All right. So, Rook, you can probably find whatever kind of outfit you would like. It doesn't.
Ross spends the whole time trying to convince you to buy the most gaudy shit you've ever seen in your life, in the largest display of false peppiness you have ever seen.
Oh no! I mean, probably I don't know. There probably wouldn't be anything like Karasi, but there are any like nice embroidery. She'd probably like go for one of like kind of gaudy but subtler, one of the subtler suggestions.
And Bertie will jump in because he pretty much is just pattering along, nattering around. If he does pop in there as well, he will also be trying to help Ross encourage Rook to pitch you something ridiculous.
That's excellent. I think she'd also get some like leather armor as well.
Okay. Ross is gonna go into the jewelers.
Okay. Hello there. How can I help you?
Hi. I'm looking for a ring.
A ring? Okay. Anything in mind? And he shows you this. Oh, mundane or arcane?
Arcane, preferably.
Arcane.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, see, my partner and I, we're getting to an anniversary, and I just really want to get them something really nice. But they work at a pretty hardcore job. They can't wear the ring all the time, so I just want something a little subtle, something subtle, but maybe something that helps with dealing damage. They're a fighter,
Dealing damage. Okay.
My big strong guy.
We have something for certain types of combatants. Tend to be more for the craftier folk, but the ring of the battlesmith. And he holds up this ring that is there's an intricate series of cogs along the band. Now this you can use the energy of the ring and the items that it wears, and you notice in particular there are 5 prominent cogs, and give a few times a day you can give it an attack a bit of a more bit more of a punch.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Can I get a little extra enchantment put on that?
Yes. What were you thinking?
Just, I'm not going to say it out loud, but you know what I want put on it, Darby.
Yeah. All right. So all up, that will be 15,000 gold.
Ross's eyes go really wide for half a second, and then she's like, that's fine. Wonderful. Also, I don't know where the rest of you are in relation to this, but Ross is just... in there doing this, and if you're watching, then you're watching. She doesn't give a shit.
And you see he actually grabs a pair of tweezers and picks out a little gem from a drawer and places it in the center of one of the cogs. And it's like, all right, and does a little enchantment and passes it, puts it back in its box, hands it over to you. Like, so that should give it the enchantment you seek.
How much extra gold do I have to add for it to be gift wrapped?
Just one this expensive. I'll throw it in for free.
You're so sweet. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And he wraps it up for you and hands it.
She's going to specify that it be silver.
Yep.
And that it be very almost origami-like.
All right. Is there any other shopping that people want to get through? I think Rook, it would probably cost you about 3 gold to get a reasonable outfit together.
Yeah. I should probably. I guess I won't color too much at the moment. Yeah, probably just like get like a few health potions.
Okay. Yeah, we can deal with the specifics of how many off pod, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Neumann.
Yes.
Jake puts his hand up on an audio podcast to speak.
Yes. Hey, your finest ale spread, please.
And yeah, you are served a nice bit of ale spread on toast.
Now I'm expecting to pay a pretty penny for this, Darby. How much?
3 copper.
Okay, Newman's eyes widen for like just half a second, and he will give out the 3 copper. That's not a problem.
Yeah. And so, any other purchases that people wish to make, or is that all for the shopping?
That's all, I guess.
What are Caius and Birdie doing?
He's just pattering, trying to talk about just random stuff. Trying to join in mostly with like Ross and Rook in general. But he just keeps trying to like checking to us, I guess see what Kai's is doing. Just basically any interesting shops that he thinks are cool. He would obviously find the jewelry shop very cool, but like you know, and he looks very like longingly at some dresses in the clothes shop. But like that's about it.
There's a new.
He's just pattering.
There's a new what appears to be tattooist that you don't remember being here when you were here last.
Okay.
He kind of like claiming to do arcane tattoos on top of mundane tattoos.
Imagine he's just like looking like interestingly like the flash sheets out the front, while maybe I don't know, Ross or does something like,
What are you looking at?
Oh, it's a new shop. It's weird being down here seeing all the kind of new stuff here. This is just, I don't know. I've been thinking for a while about a kind of like subconsciously, I guess, but like subtly it touches like the his left wrist, which is like has because he's not wearing his braces, has like the scarring for his mark. You're like, I don't know. I've seen these before in Durham, and well, basically these are like tattoos, like arcade, so like piercing, but like way worse. And like but like they can have like magic kind of like put into it, and like I think, I don't know. I've been thinking for a while. It would be, I don't know, nice. Yeah. Huh.
No, yeah, I haven't seen a magic one before, but people in Karas have loads of tattoos. My friend Sydney's got one on his lower back, and it's like an S for like his own name, and then just like
valid. I like that.
Yeah,
that's almost what I do. I imagine.
Yeah.
You should. Yeah, I don't know.
If you want one, if you've been thinking about it, you should You should do it. I mean,
Maybe.
could be really cool.
It would be nice to like have something else there. I don't know. Maybe that might be fun. I don't know. I imagine you don't have any tattoos, do you, Kais? Given the earring thing.
No, I did. For a brief moment, I thought I had a tattoo when I was younger, but it turned out it was just a mole.
Oh, I hope you got checked out. That stuff is very important. Cool. Well, fair. Rook, I imagine you probably got some.
No, actually, I guess I've been thinking about it, but I haven't really had the time.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, the magic quality is interesting, although I'd be interested to see how you undergo the tattooing process.
I've got piercings, so like, well, how hard can that be? I'll just go in.
A large Goliath woman comes out, decked in tattoos. Some of them you see are glowing. Others are dull. The ink hasn't faded, but like they're not glowing in the same way others are. She says, "Couldn't help but see you eyeing off me art there. You interested?"
Oh, absolutely.
How many of you are interested? I might be able to do a bit of a group discount for you.
A group discount? Oh my gosh. Oh wow, it's music to my ears. I mean, wow. Well, maybe I might. Is anybody else interested?
I mean, I'll get one if there's a discount.
What kind of effects can they do? Is it magical?
Mostly magical. Some of it protective, some of it enhancing your natural abilities. It can even do. It's a little more expensive generally, but I can even do ones where you can. They enable you to cast a certain spell, however many times a day you want, up to a certain amount, depending on how much you can afford.
Any design?
I can do whatever design you want. There's a minimum size for different enchantments, but as long as it is at least as big as is required for the enchantment, I can do whatever size you want.
Excellent.
If we're getting the group discount, do they all have to be magical?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I think this will be good. Do not think about any of that uncomfortable argument before. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Caius.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite flower? I don't even know if you like flowers, actually. That's probably a pretty silly question.
Is there like a particular flower that grows a lot in Durham?
Probably one of the most well-known flowers, and one of the favorite flowers of most that is prevalent in Durham would be Arcani's smile.
Okay. Well, there was a very nice flower that would grow around in Durham called Arcani's smile. It was a very nice blue one that would sort of bloom in the late spring. But yeah.
I think I know that one. I have been to Durham before then, in the season as well. Thank you. I think I got an idea.
Okay.
I will say very briefly, Ross is gonna lean over to Rook and be like, "Hey, don't feel pressured. You just had a bit of a thing. Sometimes you don't want to make decisions like this after stuff like that. We can come back later."
It is a bit of a sudden thing. I was thinking of one for a while to. Sometimes we get them to memorialize big events, and I guess I've gone through them. But I am interested in this casting spells kind of thing. See, I think I saw you stop spells from happening a few times. What were you using then?
Oh, counter spell. It's it's like medium difficult depending on what kind of spell you want to stop, but it's pretty useful. You can use it real quick too.
Just as a heads up, the Goliath woman says, spells get a bit expensive. A counter spell, a basic counter spell is going to set you back about 45,000 gold. But
45,000 gold?
Yes.
Oh, I do not have that. Okay. Oh. Alright, what's under 20,000?
Well, 20,000 itself would get you 1 use of any second level spell, up to 3 uses of a first level spell, some sort of resistance.
Birdie, have you got Zath's money?
Yeah?
Personally, I think these tattoos are on Zath.
Yeah, actually, I think that's a very good idea.
Think it's the one good thing they'll have done for us?
He pulls out this little bag. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Good, fun shopping
Alright.
trip. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and mine'll be pretty cheap, so any extra needed for Rooks, just use mine. That's fine.
So,
Cool. All right, I'll sort it out.
as Bertie
If you're okay with that, Rook, sorry.
If that's okay for you, I mean, that's a lot of money. My share was
What's
only
money?
going to be 20,000.
My share's only 20,000. What's money anyway?
So, as Bertie, Rook, and Ross go in to get tattoos, that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
And Caius stands awkwardly.
What a tone shift. All right, now you can think about what sick tattoos
Yeah.
we're going to get instead of our horrible arguments.
Yes, it's a good thing.
Oh,
We're all about to get
And-
at least 10% hotter.
Yeah.
yes.
And
So-
yeah, so we'll open with the reveal of the tattoos and all that next week.
Literal tattoos of Caius, like
Yeah.
realistic tattoos of Caius.
For the meantime, thank you for listening and goodbye.
Yeah, have a
Thank
great
you.
one.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry for listening.
Sorry for listening.
Sorry for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Make someone be funny for a stinger.
That's not happening. We're not funny.
No.
We've never been funny in our lives.
Not once in our
Not
lives.
even once.
No.